What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, once again, we have another Super Rugby video, and again treated to some exciting rugby for me. Not that great with the Sharks coming down to the Bulls, but alas, it's good to see a South African team on the rise and improving. But overall, some exciting results, some shockers, some pretty predictable games, but all round awesome rugby from the Southern Hemisphere teams. The competition is getting tight, teams are starting to form. It's really getting to the exciting part for me, to see who's going to fight, who's going to get there, who is going to be the one to watch out for. We've pretty much can see who the predictions for champs are going to be and all that stuff. But the wild cards are so unpredictable because it's so evenly matched between some teams. So let's get to the recap of the weekend. What a weekend we were treated to. Some awesome rugby with great efforts from the teams. And I was truly impressed to see these teams just fight and just never give up attitudes. And some teams are really, really going all at it and proving points to all their supporters and all that stuff, which is really great to see in my opinion. So let's start off with the Hurricanes versus the Chiefs. What a game for the Hurricanes. A good win. I thought they were going to win. Beauden Barrett, definite welcome back for them. Scoring a great try. Ben Lamb scoring a try, as well as Ngani also scoring a good old try, and Jordie Barrett kicking over the conversion. So well done to them. Leishian Boshier scoring a try for the Chiefs, and then Damian McKenzie converting as well as penalties. So unfortunate for the Chiefs, not having a great time at the moment, but they still are a damn good team to look out for as we go forward in the Super Rugby team, and they're still contenders, they're still brilliant. But credit to the Hurricanes, pretty predictable one for a lot of the supporters who just been watching. Hurricanes have a good team, and to see Beauden Barrett back, I think that definitely gave them a boost, especially after the close game against the Sharks 2 weeks ago. Sunwolves versus the Blues. Good effort from Sunwolves, I have to say. Timothy scoring a try, Hayden Parker converting, as well as the other kicker. But 24 to 10 points. Great effort from the Blues. Good win. They needed a win. They needed to lift themselves up. Haven't been having the greatest of series this year because they're just not right there with the teams, but or with the other New Zealand teams. Are still good, but just not that strong this year. Hopefully this could help them bounce back. Geordie Highlanders scoring 2 tries, which is a good thing for them. Hopefully he can continue the form for the Blues. Rebels versus the Jaguars. Now this was a shock for me. I really saw the Rebels winning. They're a great team. They've showed a lot of improvement from last year, as I've said before. Scoring 3 tries in the game. What an effort from the Rebels, but credit and take a bow. Jaguars, true fighting Argentine performance. Also 3 tries, but conversions and another penalty to help them along the way to pick up that victory. So credit to the Jaguars. Well done on picking up a win in Australia of all countries, guys. Rebels, I really thought we were going to win that one, but clearly I was wrong, and credit where credit is deserved, and well done to the Jaguars. Highlanders, Brumbies. Again, I thought the Highlanders would win just because New Zealand teams are looking good. Well, those teams are. A lot of tries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries in the game. 43 to 17 points victory. Ben Smith scoring 2 tries. Credit to him. What a game. And he got a conversion, according to these stats. So great stuff from the Highlanders. Unlucky for the Brumbies. But I think they're definitely on the rise back, but unfortunately that's not a result you quite want to remember. Waratahs versus Reds. I picked the Reds for this one. What a good victory from the 37 points to 16, 4 tries in the game, so a good one. Bernard Foley kicking over his points as well, so great effort from the Waratahs. And then the Reds scoring 1 try, and obviously their penalty kicks helping them as well as the conversion. So good on them, and well done to the Waratahs for picking up a victory there. Sharks versus the Bulls. One try in it for the Sharks. Andreas Days and Robert De Beer converting it and getting a penalty. But we can't talk about that. We got to talk about the fantastic effort from the Blue Bulls. I mean, 5 tries in the game. Warwick Gallant take a bow, my friend. 3 tries. Definite Springbok for me. Definite fullback material. What a player. And he can do anything else. He can play wing. He has to be in the Springbok team, as well as other brilliant players within the Super Rugby. But credit to the Bulls. Andre Polo kicking over, as well as Mani. So well done to the Bulls, picking up a fantastic victory. A much needed victory, and what is good to see. You know, a lot of the talk, not a fan of the Bulls. In South Africa, you either love or hate the Bulls, and it goes the same for my team, the Sharks. But the Bulls are on the rise, and a lot of people say if the Bulls are looking good, South African rugby is on the rise and looking good. So fingers crossed that is the case for Springbok Rugby. Hopefully Sharkies can bounce back, because they sure as hell going to need to, because there's a lot to work on after that. I thought they were on the mend. Great game against the Blues. Then a good hard-fought effort against the Hurricanes. But then this game, and now I just don't know what's going on. So hopefully they'll be able to bounce back and prove a point to their Sharks fans, especially me. Still wearing my shirt. Got to support my team in sickness and in health. So, yeah. Oh well. Let's get to the fixtures for this weekend's games. We start off on Friday with the Blues versus the Highlanders. An awesome New Zealand encounter. A good old game to watch. Blues wanted to prove a point. They are playing in Auckland, or playing at their home ground. It's what's a home game for the Bulls. Highlanders, on the other hand, great win last weekend. Going to want to continue their good form. But for me, predictions, guys, I've got to go with the Highlanders. Sorry to the Blues fans. I know a lot of you are here. But it's just the Highlanders are in better form. But who knows? We saw Sharks last week. We saw Sharks week before. Could we see another one? Waratahs Lions. This is going to be a dinger of a game. Waratahs obviously not doing too badly in Australia. I think they've just overtaken in the excuse me, the Australian conference. They are in the lead as far as I know. So, but against the Lions have picked a very strong team. Alton Yankees obviously leading the team. Some good players, but obviously they are without their captain, Mr. Warren Whiteley. So that's going to be a big loss for them. But they're a good team and they can bounce back. Lions really look good previous weeks. They've got a star player who's just shining in the name of Michael Tambwe, who's just looking great. He scored 4 tries against the Stormers when they completely dominated them. So he's definitely a player to look out for. So I'm expecting a Lions win, if I have to be honest. It's going to be close, it's going to be tight, it's going to be a hard-fought game. But at the end, I think the Lions are going to win it by 5 points. Crusaders, Sunwolves. Sunwolves, as I said, show a lot of fight, but unfortunately not the hottest team in the Super Rugby season. And Crusaders are one of the clear favourites for this tournament to win. So I've got to go Crusaders to win this game. Reds versus the Chiefs. Chiefs obviously coming off a loss last week. Reds also. So both teams are going to be wanting to prove a point, fighting back, getting better, showing momentum. But for me, I've got to go with the New Zealanders on this one, guys. And I'm going the Chiefs victory by 7 or more points. Blue Bulls versus Rebels. This is going to be quite an exciting game. We're at Loftus, so everyone's going to be predicting a Bulls game. And after the outstanding performance against the Sharks, who wouldn't? So lots of things to watch out for, especially Gallant. Rebels also didn't have a great week last week. Shocking loss to the Jaguars, so they're going to want to bounce back, prove a few critics wrong, who I'm sure are saying they are on the downhill. I reckon they could bounce back, but for me, home advantage, a good momentum to continue with, Bulls to win that game. And I'm also going to go 5 points or more. Sharks versus Stormers, father versus son in my house. Obviously me as a Shark supporter, my dad's a Stormer, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rivalry this weekend. A lot of my friends are also Stormers too. But Stormers coming off a bad loss against the Lions. They're going to want to bounce back. They've had a week off to recap, regel, so they're going to be wanting to come back. Sharks are going to be wanting to prove a point and also pick up a win. They have to pick up a win if they're wanting any chance. So it's a must-win game for pretty much both teams. To predict this one, I'm going Sharks. I think they're going to bounce back. Just judging on the last two performances from previous weeks, I just think they're the stronger team at this point, but it's going to be tough. And then the final game of the weekend, Brumbies versus Jaguars. Also two great teams trying to find form. Jaguars found good form last weekend in that fantastic victory against the Melbourne Rebels. And Brumbies, they're up and down, up and down. You can never know what's going to happen, but they are at home. But watch me be wrong, I'm going for a risk, and I'm going to say Jaguars to win in Australia once again. And that's going to do it for the predictions. What a weekend in store of exciting rugby. It's going to be truly special. Could we see a shock here or there? I think we could. And could we see predictable games? Pretty much. Or could we see... We could see a lot this weekend. So make sure you're tuned into the TV this weekend. There is so much rugby. Southern and Northern Hemisphere. It's going to be awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all future Super Rugby content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay safe. Oh wait, before we go, comment down below, who are your predictions? Who's going to win? Are we going to see an upset? Let me know in the comment section down below. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.